Okay, so I have 12.5 ounces of all-purpose flour here in the food processor. We're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of instant yeast, 1 teaspoon of table salt, and we're just gonna process that for a few seconds to combine it all. Now I have 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of cold water. We want to use cold water because we want the dough to stay nice and cool in the food processor, and it tends to heat up in the food processor. And to that water, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. That's just going to enrich in the dough a little bit and make it easier to work with. So we'll add this water mixture while the machine is running and let it go until the dough starts to form and clears the sides of the bowl. It takes about a minute. Okay, all right, so the dough has come together nicely. And we can turn it out onto the counter.
Now you're not gonna flour the counter?
No, not at this point. We will use flour later on in the process, but right now the dough is pretty resilient, not too sticky. We just wanna work it a little bit so it comes together. So just a few turns here on the counter. So I just wanna shape the dough into a tight little ball. And we can put it into a grease bowl. I like to turn and coat the top of the dough with a little bit of the oil that's in the bowl already. And coat the bottom. Cover it with plastic wrap, and we'll let this dough rise until it's doubled in size. It takes anywhere between 2 to 2.5 hours.
Sounds good.
Okay, so now let's talk about our baba ganoush.
Okay.
So I have 2 12-ounce eggplants here. We are going to broil them until they're nice and toasty. Before we put them in the oven, we want to go ahead and poke them a few times, about 6 times each, with the tip of a paring knife. This actually keeps them from exploding in the oven. So what we're looking for, we're going to let this go in the oven. We have the broiler set to high. The oven rack is about 8 inches from the broiler element. We'll put the eggplant in there. We're going to let it cook for 20 minutes on the first side. Then we're going to flip it over and let it go for anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes on the second side. What we're looking for is a nice charred skin. It should smell like the aroma of burning leaves.
That's an interesting
I love that one. That's
symbol, right?
That's my favorite thing I ever wrote. All right, I'm going to throw this in the oven.
All right.
Okay, Toni, I know you could smell the eggplant.
It smells incredible in here. And you were so right.
Yeah.
That perfume is very much like burning leaves.
Yeah, you can see the skin is nice and hard and crackly. The eggplant's leaching out some of its juice, so you know it's cooked and custardy inside. All right, so while that cools, we're gonna let it cool for a good 30 minutes before we can start handling it. We could set up some of the base for our baba ganoush.
Okay.
I have a couple of garlic cloves here. I just wanna smash and mince it into a fine paste.
Smashing is such an important step for leaching out those oils that are in the garlic.
So we'll just mince it like this. Okay, and then we can slide this garlic into our bowl here. All right, and to our garlic, we're going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. All right, so we'll add lemon juice and a teaspoon of salt. We'll let all this mixture sit. So combining the lemon juice with the garlic really helps take the sharpness away from the garlic. So we're still going to get plenty of garlic flavor because we have a ton of garlic in there, but it's also not going to be as astringent and bitter. So we'll let this sit here while our eggplant cools, and we'll come back and start making our baba ganoush. Our eggplant has had a chance to cool, and now we can begin cutting it up. All right, so we're just going to split it lengthwise, kind of splay it open. You can see I'm just going to take a spoon here and scoop out the flesh. It's so luscious and custardy here.
Yeah.
I love eggplant. Kind of want to take care not to get any of those bits of skin. Now we're just going to run our knife through it, really just trying to break up any of these long strands of eggplant. So we just want to find enough so we could scoop it up with our manish very easily. We don't want any long strands. Okay, so we could slide this into our bowl with our marinated garlic.
And already there's beginning to be a really terrific smell in here.
Yeah. So to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of tahini, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. All right, so we're just going to mix this up. Now we just want to let this sit and let those flavors start to blend. You want to give it at least 20 minutes, but if you can go longer, it's only going to get better for it.
Want more new recipes and stories from Cook's Country? Then sign up for our Cook's Country email newsletter. It's free. Our newsletter takes you behind the scenes with the people and the recipes changing the way America cooks. Plus, you'll also get a sneak peek of upcoming recipes from the magazine, beloved recipes from previous seasons, and so much more. Just scan the QR code or visit cookscountry.com to sign up and start getting your free email newsletter today.
So let's talk about za'atar. Za'atar is one of those spice blends that you could buy. It's generally, at the very least, a combination of thyme, oregano, sumac, and sesame seeds. We're gonna blend our own za'atar here. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of dried thyme to our mortar, along with 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. And we're gonna pulverize these to a fine powder. And that takes about a minute.
Oh, wow. That's really potent.
All right, and this is what we're looking for. Nice, fine powder, very fragrant. And to that, we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of sumac.
I love sumac.
I love how sour it smells. Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of toasted sesame seeds. Finally, a half teaspoon of salt. That's table salt there. We're just gonna mix this up. So this recipe makes a little bit more than we need for our manish. Mm-hmm. It makes about 5 tablespoons. We only need 3 tablespoons. So we're gonna take 3 tablespoons of our za'atar mixture and put it into a bowl here. And to that, we're gonna also add 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And this is gonna be the topping for our manish. Just give that a mix. Okay, so we can set that aside. And now we can finally turn our attention back to our dough.
Look at that beautiful dough.
It's gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
So it's doubled in size. It's been a couple of hours. Now we're gonna divide our dough into 3 equal portions. And whenever I do this, just to make sure it's all even, I like to weigh the big dough first, see where we're at. All right, so it's about 21 ounces. So back onto our counter, just kind of eyeball it. Okay, so now we can just take our dough balls and just kind of cup them on the counter and just roll them into tight little balls there. We'll put those onto our sheet. All right, now we're gonna cover our dough with our plastic wrap, and we're gonna let this sit for 15 minutes so the dough relaxes again and it's easier to roll out. Our dough has been resting for 15 minutes and we're ready to roll out. Toni, would you like to give me a hand?
Yes,
Please,
I would love to
please,
do
can
that.
you give me a hand?
I would love to help you out.
Okay, here is a ball of dough for you.
They're so beautiful.
Wait till you start working with it. Want to sprinkle a little flour on your counter?
Okay. Not much?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit on top of the dough as well. And then we're going to start off with our fingers, and we're just going to press the dough into an approximate 6 to 7 inch round. So I'd like to just poke it. This is just to kind of get it started. And now we're going to roll these into 9 to 10 inch circles. So I'm notoriously bad at rolling out perfectly round circles. So I like to press from the center and give the dough a quarter turn each time.
What's the size we're going for here?
Between 9 and 10 inches. The dough
Okay.
is very forgiving. Okay, so once we're at that 9 to 10 inch mark, we're going to use our baking peels. So I'm going to flour your baking peel. And I always like to go heavy on this flour. So then we can just pick up the edge of the dough
Yep.
and quickly slide underneath. Then we're going to spread 1.5 tablespoons of our za'atar olive oil mixture. We'll put it in the center of the dough. Just eyeball that extra half tablespoon. I'm going to spread it all the way to about a ½ inch from the edge. What we're going to do is something that I saw Mario doing there at the bakery with his manish. He took his fingers and just docked the dough with his fingertips about 6 times. So it was like boom, 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 boom.
Do you have to say boom, boom?
You gotta say boom, 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 or it doesn't work.
Okay.
You just heard the booms coming from Mario's kitchen. It's all booms all day. Wait,
Oh.
boom. Yeah, okay, I'll just do the booms for you. Go ahead.
Okay, because you
did 3 without booms. I'm not sure
Okay,
you're
so
just
the
gonna taste,
remaining
right?
ones are boom, boom, boom.
Boom. All right, that's great. We have baking steel set up in there. They've been in there for a good hour, preheating. Oven is at 500 degrees. The oven rack is adjusted to the middle position. And we're gonna slide these in there, and they're gonna bake for a good 5 minutes. All right, Toni, let's pull these out of the oven.
It looks gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
Golden.
Perfect.
Look at those air pockets. Ooh, my goodness.
Nice and bubbling and gorgeous. Our manish is cooling. Our baba ganoush has been resting for a good 20 minutes or so. And we're gonna taste it to adjust the seasoning if we need to.
How is it?
Oh, so good. I'm gonna add a smidge more lemon juice to it and a pinch of salt. And so now we could transfer this to our serving bowl. I like to use a nice wide, shallow serving bowl.
it smells so good.
Spread it around. I like to create these little swooshes in there because we're going to drizzle it with olive oil. And I like the olive oil to pool in those little swooshes.
Very nice.
So this is 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Nothing better than olive oil with fresh bread. Then we'll sprinkle it with a little bit of parsley. It's a tablespoon of chopped parsley here. All right, so I'm going to break bread with you and say we just tear it up and we just start dunking.
I love these little air pockets.
So here's half of our manish for you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll give you a little bit of bob on your plate there.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Ready to dig in?
You ready?
Let's do this.
Let's go in for it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my goodness.
That's so good, right?
You nailed it. The subtlety of the garlic, it's in there, but it's not overpowering. It doesn't like scream out. It's really nice and balanced and mellow.
We hope you enjoyed this video and tune in for more. Hit those like and subscribe buttons so you never miss a single one. And if you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, try our digital all-access membership where you can stream every season of Cook's Country anytime, anywhere, and always ad-free. Plus, you'll gain unlimited access to all of America's Test Kitchen fail-proof recipes, unbiased reviews, fresh episodes, exclusive offers, and more. Just scan the QR code or head over to cookscountry.com to sign up for a free trial. And while you're there, sign up for our free newsletter and download our app. And let's make something great together.